It was a great experience for me. It's a great experience for me. There was a lot of things that I wanted to learn. I wanted to prove that I was, I could play in this league and I could start on this team. Um, there were, I mean, there were a lot of older guys, to learn from, but our rookies, we were a tight knit group. You know, um, we shared all of our stories. We shared our experiences together. And so I guess, you know, Charles Tillman, he's the guy, that me and him, we were on the same page a lot of the time.
Hmm.
Whether it was our motivations for football and what drives us and things of that nature. And that's kind of rookie year, kind of in a nutshell. It was just, it was kind of balls to the wall all the time. And that's where you got to play. That's where you're going to make a name for myself, and that's how I'm going to be able to. That's how I'm going to learn to fit on this team.
Yeah. So what I gotta ask you this: what was it like playing with a guy like Brian Urlacher throughout your career, man? Because to be honest, in my opinion, you guys were the best 1-2 combo as far as linebackers in the league. What was that like? Learning, getting to feed off of him every game.
It was fun. It was fun, man. It was a heck of an experience. And we spent every day in that room together. When you do that for such a long time, you know each other extremely well. And the awesome thing about us playing together and learning kind of what our strengths and what our weaknesses are is learning how to play off of each other.
Hmm.
And when you have a guy that knows how to play off of you, there's a lot of trust that's built there. He knows when I'm going to shoot gap or when I'm going to drop or when I'm going to blitz, um, and and he knows when he has to cover me, or I know when I have to do the same. And if he takes a blocker out, he knows he can count on me to fill that gap or get over the top. And that's where your trust and relationship becomes strong.
Right. So I gotta actually, obviously you played your entire 12-year career there in Chicago. It's rare now in the NFL to see a player spend their career in one team. So what was it? What's it like to just to spend your career with one team? And were you ever considering going to another team, or was it always Chicago for you?
Yeah, I mean, I considered going to another team. That option that presented itself. Um, but because of whatever the circumstances were, I ended up back in Chicago, and Chicago's been home. It became home in 2003, and it's going to be home forever. And it just really upsetting being drafted in the third round. Um, and during the draft, it couldn't have everything I think worked out the way it's supposed to. I couldn't have been brought to a better place
Hmm.
in a better situation. So I'm really thankful for that. This is Chicago has been it's just been a blessing for me.
Yeah. So going back to so looking back at your career, what this is a two-part question. So who was that leader? And obviously Erlacher is one of the leaders, and you too. But who was the other leader in that team that kept you guys on in the defense, like the glue guy that kept you the defense in every game and in the huddle?
I mean, you said it right there. It was Erlacher. And throughout the years, you have other guys. Obviously, Mike Brown,
Yeah.
and Peanut, Alex Brown. I mean, Julius Peppers. There's a number of guys. Adewale Gunleye. There's a number of guys that um, were leaders in that huddle. There were so many that were leaders in that huddle, but we only had one vocal guy, and that was Erlacher. Anything else that was said was between just personal between us. So we're football as a team. It's all work a bunch of working cogs. And having that trusting the man next to you, to your left and your right of you, it's a big deal.
Hmm. And I have a question. All right, so before the Instagram crash, I had an interview on Instagram Live before your interview. her name was Jennifer Cobb. She used to be an NFL cheerleader for the Rams, the St. Louis Rams, and she has a question for you. She said, and by the way, she said hi to you, and she has a question for you. She wants to know if you know the Super Bowl Shuffle.
I mean, I know the Super Bowl Shuffle. I know. I don't know all the words to it. I couldn't recite it for you right now. But the Super Bowl Shuffle. The cool thing about that is, we had planned on doing the Super Bowl Shuffle if we were going to win in 06. And I hope that if the Bears get back to the championship and win, and this year or next year, whatever, that they uphold that tradition. I think that's pretty cool. And there's only one team that's done it.
So obviously, so what was your most memorable game you played in throughout your career, a 12-year career in Chicago?
I don't know, man. There's a lot. I have a lot of them. Most those games are really memorable. Obviously they had a replay of our Arizona game not too long ago on ESPN, and I mean, there again, we had some great battles against the Packers. We had some great battles against all the teams in the NFC North. We had some great playoff battles. For me, you can name any of them, but I enjoyed them all.
Yeah. So my next question here, what do you think? What are your thoughts on this current Bears team now? Whenever the season starts, probably they might start on time, but what are your thoughts on the current Bears team?
I'm excited. I'm excited. They bring in Nick Foles to compete, and Robert Quinn on the other side. You have a legitimate pass rusher on the opposite side. And I think it's Deshaun Gibson at safety. In the free agency, I think the Bears really put themselves in a positive position. Also, you draft some linemen. You draft and sign some linemen. So, I think what it looks like to me is the Bears are trying to win.
Yeah. Do you think Mitchell Trubisky can take the next step, or do you think Nick Foles will start right away?
I think Nick Foles wins that quarterback battle.
Interesting.
And I really hope he does. I think that it's nice to have a new guy come in and have a shot. We've done the Trubisky thing for 3 years now, and in my opinion, I think it's time to try something different.
Right. And I gotta ask you this because I'm a big Dallas Cowboy fan growing up, so I'm a big Cowboys fan, and we have two linebackers, up and coming linebackers, and Jalen Smith and Leighton Vander Esch. So I'm gonna ask you, what do you think of them, and do you think they can be like a 1-2 combo, just like you and Urlacher?
I mean, they've shown a lot of signs of just that. These past couple of years in Dallas. They're going into a different system now. They're going to a 3-4 system. So we'll see how they adjust or make that adjustment. Because now you're looking at a system where it's less like mine and Urlacher's, and it's more like the few linebackers from San Francisco. They're taking over the San Francisco. Mike Nolan is taking over. That group from the Navarro Bowmans. Those guys. So we'll see. I've always liked watching them play. Jalen Smith's one of my favorite linebackers. I try whenever I can. I turn the TV on to watch him. So we'll see. We'll see where his progression is. I'm looking forward to watching him play again.
So I do this segment called Rapid Fire Questions with all my guests that come on the show. So you ready for this?
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard's laugh or Kevin Hart's laugh?
Kawhi.
So would you ever consider coaching in the future, or working in an NFL front office?
Doubt it.
Favorite? What new things are you learning during this quarantine?
Patience.
Favorite hip hop artist currently and old school?
Mozzie, Mozzzy from Sacramento, California, where I grew up. Old school. I'll go with Lionel Richie.
So thoughts on this Michael Jordan documentary?
Say that again.
Thoughts on this Michael Jordan documentary?
Haven't seen it yet. Seen bits and pieces, but I'm a binge watcher, so I'll see it soon.
Who's the funniest? Who is the funniest teammate on the Chicago Bears team throughout your career?
Spice Adams.
Wait, who?
Spice Adams. Anthony Adams.
Spice Adams. Yeah. Favorite food?
Burgers.
Who was your role model when you were growing up in the football industry? Who was your role model that you looked up to?
Ooh, it's a tough one. I don't know. Olin Kreutz.
Thoughts on all right, how many games do you think the Bears will win this year?
More than the other NFC North teams.
And the last two things here before I let you go. This is a question I've been asking to all my guests about the late Kobe Bryant, on what he meant to them. So for you, being an athlete, what did Kobe mean to you, and his daughter Gianna? What does Mama mentality mean to you?
I didn't know much about his daughter, but Kobe, as a Laker, I'm a big Sacramento Kings fan, so I watched all the battles that the Lakers and the Kings had in the early 2000s. Just admire his competitiveness. He's a natural leader, and his drive. It's pretty amazing.
And then the last thing here, would you like to say anything to all the nurses and doctors?
I appreciate you. You are our guardian angels.
So well said. And there he is, the great Lance Briggs, one of the best to play in the NFL. 12-year career with the Chicago Bears. It's been an honor. Yeah. I'm sorry about the connection issues, but I'll be posting this on all social media formats. And I just want to say thank you for coming on, and this is huge. And we'll talk again soon. So you and your family stay safe.
You too, brother. Bye-bye.
Thank you.